Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 5th episode of Hi-Qel's Pop Talk. I am your co-host, Daniel Lewis.
And I'm Alan.
And today we have a whole lot of stuff to talk about. It's not going to be as short as last time. Last time we were kind of reaching for topics that we just couldn't find, but we didn't have that problem at all this time. So, real quick, let's go ahead
Ask and ye shall receive.
Yes, exactly. I like the way you said that. Here's a quick little rundown of the topics we will be discussing today. First of all, in our game segment, we have EA Play 2021. Ooh. Of course, just happened a couple days ago. That'll be fun. A little bit of progress on the Skull and Bones game that got announced way back when. We got an update for that. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Tom Clancy's Deviant or Defiant first-person shooter game, which had a interesting reception. We'll just say that.
Bro, I'm kind of excited for it, but I'll save it for later.
All right. Moving on to our movie/TV segment, we have the Flash movie. There were some leaked photos showing a little bit of details about what we may or may not be seeing in the movie. That'll be very interesting. And we also have a interesting topic concerning Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni potentially erasing the sequel trilogy, which is, man, I didn't even know you could do that. But anyway, that will definitely be a fun topic to discuss. Then in our anime segment, we will be discussing the final Neon Genesis film. It will be premiering on Amazon. And then, last but not least, the new Dragon Ball Super movie. I'm not going to spoil the title right now. We will get to that later on.
But it's rough.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. But that's everything we're going to be talking about. Alan, what have you been up to this week?
Well, still grinding out on the job.
Mm-hmm.
Still playing a little bit of Hades. But, this week was a quick week for me because I only worked till Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday I was doing wedding stuff for a good friend of mine that got married yesterday from the time we're recording this. And just was like off and able to hang out with him and make sure that everything about their wedding day was special.
Yeah.
It was fun, man. It was fun watching him because it was kind of weird. He's younger than I am, and I met him in college. And by the time I had met him, I was one of the elder people in the fraternity, and so it was like watching one of my kids get married. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
But
that,
no,
yeah.
Man, it was a fun time. We enjoyed hanging out with them and being a part of their special day. So
yeah,
couldn't ask for something better than that for the weekend. And then today, I've been getting into a little bit of escape from Tarkov, but unfortunately, up until today, I did not have an SSD, so the load times for that game were pretty atrocious. And it officially I don't want to say inspired, but it officially made me want to go out and get an SSD, and so I did that. And so spent forever on that this evening because my cable management is horrendous as well.
Same. Not even gonna lie.
I feel like you don't have great cable management unless you're a person that worked for a company that builds PCs professionally, or unless you get a pre-built PC.
Yeah.
There's I don't feel like anybody's anal enough to actually deal with their cords, but who knows if
Yeah,
I could just be talking out of my ass right now.
No, you're not, man. To me, as long as it's not touching, as long as it's not in the main compartment with the graphics card where you can see everything, then it's fine. Because most of the time that's on a separate section And you know, there's like little holes you can route everything through to
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
make it
yeah.
look nice, so you don't see all the crappy cable management. That's definitely how my setup is all of the cables are,
It's just that's mine too,
they're
dude.
tucked in the
They're all
back.
near the motherboard and shit. Like it's
Yeah.
all in the front, dude.
Oh
I hate
really?
it. Yeah, man, my cable management is
Oh,
ass
you can see all of
because
it.
yes, yes, dude, it's so bad. And I know that like PC, community is probably gonna listen to this and think I'm a sinner for that. But my
Nah,
lord, dude, it
dude.
was just like, no, 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 you don't understand. It's bad.
Nah.
You're saying nah. You're saying nah. But if I was to post this on a PC Reddit, I would get crucified.
Oh
It would
man,
be done.
it's okay, man. I protect you, but like it really depends on your case, because my original case, cable management was pretty much non-existent. There was no
Yeah,
separate
yeah. My case is
compartment.
a little janky with that.
Yeah, because yeah, like mine, everything, there wasn't like a separate compartment for the cables. Everything was just, it was like every man for himself. And it really honestly sucks. I'm probably gonna end up swapping it out with another case, because I still want to use it. It's my old computer. Like I still want to like use it as like a, maybe like a
Mm-hmm.
streaming computer, or you know, maybe turn it into something else. But yeah, like I definitely feel that in terms of cable management.
But
But
yeah, like I mean that's pretty much like the whole thing with that is I got it, deleted the games off of my original hard drive and downloaded Tarkov and Rainbow Six Siege, and I'm going to download Borderlands 3
mm-hmm.
to my SSD. Just because generally those games were the ones that took me the longest to load into any given area, and so yeah, I'm not gonna worry about anything else on it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Um, but yeah, man, that's pretty much been my week. How's yours been?
Well, it's been a pretty good week. Another busy week full of stuff, but yeah, I posted up another video yesterday. I started Hollow Knight actually,
Ooh,
because
what's
I
that?
it's a Metroidvania game. It came out. I
Are you
honestly
talking
forget when it
about
came out.
Metroid Prime and Castlevania kind of thing?
Yeah, it's like that style where you're kind of set in like this area, and there's like multiple sections of each area, and you kind of have to go around, collect different power-ups, and each time you get a power-up, it will allow you to get to a different part of the map that you weren't able to access before, like that type of thing.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
I'm really really liking it. I did not expect to like it as much as I did. um yeah, it came out 3 years ago, or 4 years ago now. Won a bunch of awards, and it's like an indie, more of like an indie title, but I remember it got like a lot of accolades and stuff. And yeah, so I just randomly tried it. It was on Game Pass, and like I said, I've been absolutely loving it. I've been putting in a bunch of time in it. I'm about halfway done, or maybe 3/4 of the way done. So I did that, and I also started Doom Eternal, because
Ooh,
I
I've
had
always
been
wanted to play
waiting.
those games.
Yeah, bro, whenever you can, you need to get on that. Especially with this one, they added DLSS and ray tracing, which adds like a whole nother. That's pretty much what I was waiting. Well, I was gonna play it beforehand, but once they said they were gonna add that, I was like, okay, let me wait till that comes
I'm gonna
out.
wait for that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then because the update for that stuff just came out, like at the tail end of June, so pretty
Oh,
recent.
so like literally. Oh, excuse me. So like not long at all.
Yeah,
Like
not long at
it's
all.
it's been very very soon.
Yeah, yeah. And I, like I said, like I played the first one. First one was awesome, and I'd been like waiting to get on this one. So now I was like, okay, with these new features, I'm finally gonna try it, and it's pretty great. It's pretty great. If I don't know if I like it as much as the first one yet. It's still too early to tell, but it's definitely Gameplay wise, it's a little bit different. It's not as like run and gun as the original. There's like some platforming elements.
I've heard there's a bunch of puzzles in it as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's very
It's like murder, death, puzzle.
yeah.
Murder, death, murder, death, puzzle.
It's like murder, death, ran out of ammo, dash. Like there's a lot of, they give you a lot of movement. It's
melee.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. But yeah, no, I'm definitely enjoying it. And I guess it's kind of personal, but I got another job. So I had mentioned beforehand a couple episodes ago that I had a bunch of free time because of a circumstance in my life. That circumstance was I had gotten laid off, which was kind of unfortunate, but in a way it was kind of fortunate because it allowed me to do more stuff, of course, work on this podcast and work on the YouTube
Get caught up
channel.
on things that you want to.
Yeah, man, yeah. But at the same time, it's like, oh, well, don't got a job, so it's like, but good thing is I found something and it's pretty flexible, so it shouldn't get in the way of all my other stuff, random hobbies and activities and stuff with the YouTube stuff and this podcast. So I'm looking forward to it. And
man, can't ask for anything better than that. A job that is real flexible with its scheduling.
Yeah, most definitely. So, but that's pretty much been my week.
Man, I got two things to say to you about that. One, last week on this podcast, you was calling me out because I like my violence. But here you are, arguably playing one of the most controversially violent video games of all time.
No, there's no.
I would just like to welcome to the floor the hypocrisy.
No, okay, look. Doom is... Okay, yeah, it's violent, but...
I was about to say, those two kids said that they shot up the school because of Doom. They wanted to act like the Doom guy.
No, man. No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with, like, violence, but the difference between me and you is I'm playing it because it's fun. not just because it's violent. Because you're like, oh, man, I'm going to play it because it is violent.
But you know what makes it fun?
What?
The violence.
I knew you were gonna say it. Oh my gosh. Man. I mean, it's definitely over. That's definitely a factor, but it's not the only factor. But yeah,
I know, man. I've been wanting to play him for a while. My friends told me that I would really like the soundtrack a lot too.
Oh my god,
because it's just a bunch of yeah.
Oh, it's so
heavily distorted guitar and shit.
So good. It's you listen to it, you're like, I want to go ham, in a good way.
The other game you were talking about, though, that you've been playing, that kind of reminds me of a roguelike in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Because you said you clear each room, and in each room you unlock a new ability or power to help you progress further. Yeah, that'll help you progress further. Well, in Hades, you go into a room that is a part of one of the one of the realms of the underworld.
Mm-hmm.
So you go through and you start at Tartarus, and then you get to Asphodel, and then you get to Elysium, and then the final area is the Sea of Styx, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about that is like with each of those like little rooms, those like sub rooms inside of each of the areas, Tartarus, Asphodel, and all that, once you beat all the enemies in there, a boon drops, and you and it'll be like a boon from the gods, and so you'll accept the boon in the name of Hades or in the name of Olympus, and the Olympus gods will talk to you and be like, yeah, your father is a treacherous man and you need to break off from him. And then they'll give you their boon, and that's like how you progress as you get like better and better like skills from the gods.
Okay.
But yeah, so you that Hollow Knight, it kind of reminds me of a roguelike a little bit.
Yeah, I never even thought about that. Huh? Yeah, I'll definitely have to give some sort of roguelike a try. I've been meaning to get on that.
I know that you said that you were interested in Risk of Rain. And I definitely think you should try that one because that one was a big part of what got me into roguelikes.
Yeah, people talk about Dead Cells as well. That's a big one.
I have heard that one talked about so much, and I don't know. I haven't played it.
Me neither. Me neither. But people swear by it. People swear by it. But speaking of video James, as the layman gaming like to call it, let's go ahead and get into our first topic in our gaming section, which was the EA Play 2021 showcase that they had, where EA talked about some of their, or a good portion of their upcoming games. It was about, how long would you say it was? Maybe like 30 minutes?
Yeah, it was about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Minutes.
So they had 6 announcements at this little showcase. The first was Grid Legends, which is a new installment in the Grid series. There was a new hero that they announced, and like a new update for Apex Legends. There was a little bit more gameplay shown for Lost in Random, and one of their EA originals. Looked pretty cool. Season 2 of Knockout City, that was pretty awesome as well. They announced a new mode for Battlefield 2042 called Battlefield Portal, which, I mean, it looked pretty fun, man. It looked super crazy and pretty wacky. And then last but not least, the best announcement out of the whole fucking thing. Yeah, to top it all off was the Dead Space remake. Man, Blast! I'm so ready. But, yeah, my thoughts exactly, man. Let's go ahead and break everything down one by one. So what out of all, first of all, I guess, what would you rate this whole entire kind of show? Like, what are your overall thoughts about it?
So out of the 6 games that they talked about and announced or whatever, I was thoroughly interested in 4 of them, or 4 of the topics that they had. The only 2 I didn't necessarily enjoy was Grid Legends, because I'm not a racing guy, and Apex, because I'm not a BR guy. I thought that the Apex trailer was cool as fuck, and that it was very well animated. I have no idea what that character does, though.
Yeah, same.
I have no fucking clue what he does.
Yes, like, dude, it was
like,
so funny.
Does he control other players' characters or some shit? Like, what does he do?
Well, the problem
what
is,
does my man do?
They had explained what his abilities were, but they didn't show it. I can't stand it when they do it. Okay, like, rule of thumb in any type of environment like that: show, don't tell. Don't tell me. I kept thinking, man, this sounds really cool. Oh yeah, man, that sounds awesome. Man, I wish we could see that. Yeah, I wish we could see that.
Yeah,
but they did.
100.
Like, they just talked about it. I'm like, if you don't have anything to show, then don't even mention it, you know, because just talking about it is like super lame. They showed like his ender or whatever, which, you know, that's cool, but I'm like, you would think that they would go all out with this sort of thing. But yeah, I definitely was kind of like, what is it? Okay.
I thought that was very lackluster for a game that has such a large community that they've made updates this far for it.
Yeah,
like, I don't know, I feel like that
I don't
know.
It was really funny.
We'll
I was watching it on Twitch, and somebody in the chat was like, "Lil Nas." Brother, I'm sorry, that cracked me up.
Man, I thought the exact same thing, which is so funny.
Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Oh, man.
Call me what you want.
Yeah, call me when. What did you think of Lost in Random, man?
I'm seriously interested in this game.
Same,
I love the little Dice character. He's adorable. I love how his eye is the die, like the little dot
bars.
on the eye on the die there is his eye, and I love that. It's such a crazy, a very creative animation for a dice.
Yeah, man. Speaking of animation,
I think that.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
I was just gonna say, I think that that some of the gameplay features in that, and some of the mechanics with the die, how he'll go out and he'll put like a diamond or something down, and you'll have to shoot it with the slingshot, and it'll do like an AOE explosion around all the enemies. Dude, I think that looks pretty. I think it looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, it looks great, man. And speaking of the animation, like you said, it's phenomenal, dude. Like they got the stop motion kind of like claymation aspect of it down.
Yeah,
pat.
yeah,
Kinda,
it looks very Tim Curry.
Yes, most definitely giving me what was that movie? Not Catherine.
Caroline.
Caroline, yeah, Caroline and Frankenweenie. Definitely giving me those vibes in a good way. It looks, and of course, Nightmare Before Christmas, which it's really really cool looking game, and I'm glad that something like this got some spotlight, because it's just nice to see something that's not like shooty bang bang games or like AAA. We're trying to change the genre with this AAA experience, $70 and the Game Pass and all. It's just nice to see something unique, and just like overall, like you can tell that there's a lot of heart in it. It's really nice to see stuff like this. I really like what the EA Originals department is doing with their games. So very much looking forward to it.
It looks pretty interesting. And just real quick before we move on, I would like to correct myself and you early. It's not Tim Curry, it's Tim Burton. We said Tim Curry.
Tim. Oh. Well,
man,
you said Tim Curry.
And the thing, yeah. And that's the thing is like Tim Curry and Tim Burton. It's so easy for me to mix those two up because they both are just generally weird people.
Yeah,
like
weird.
they make weird fucking stuff. Like Tim Curry did not I almost said Night at the Museum. I don't know why I was about to say that. Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
And that was a weird movie.
Ooh.
Like very strange. And then you've got Tim Burton, who did the kind of like awkward, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes for me claymation is very uncomfortable to watch.
Yes, it is, dude. What was that
so
other movie he did? The Corpse Bride.
Yeah,
that
Corpse's
was
Bride.
creepy as hell. Oh my gosh, dude.
And so like I associate Tim Curry and Tim Burton in the same category because they're both just generally creepy dudes.
Yeah.
But I apologize for that. So
it's cool. Everybody makes mistakes.
But the next game, Knockout City. I'm excited for season 2.
Yes, yeah.
Season 2 looks dope as fuck.
Dope.
I am super hyped for it. I think me and you got into a little bit of it one night.
Yeah, man, that game.
I enjoy that game so much. It's so fun.
It became such a like sleeper hit, man, because it came out, and I think a lot of people were like, it looks like free to play.
I thought it was brand new whenever I started playing it, and I found out it had been out for a while, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? Why has this not gotten popular yet?
Yeah,
this is literally Fortnite dodgeball. Like, come on.
Yeah, it definitely blew up though. But I do remember like when it first got revealed, people were like, it looks kind of like generic or whatever. But like as soon as people started playing it and like word of mouth got around, like the reception was super super positive. And like I forget how many players.
The gameplay are just so good.
Yeah, man. It had I forget, like the first weekend they had like a couple million players. It was crazy, man. But yeah, ended up being like super successful. But yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to season 2. Looks very fun. Very much enjoy the first season.
I think it's cool how they're adding new balls to the game. They're adding some cool new looking cosmetics. There's going to be new maps that we're getting. Like there was one that looked like a haunted house. And I think that's really cool because I'm a fiend for Halloween.
Bro, what is up with you in the bars, dude?
Dog.
You just bars, man.
It's my unintentional barring.
You said the eye. First, you talk about the eye on the die, and then I'm a fiend for Halloween. Man, when is your album gonna come out, dude? I'm waiting.
Yo, it's on my SoundCloud right now.
Oh, you SoundCloud.
But yeah.
Actually, well, we'll get to that.
I am pretty excited about season 2.
Yeah.
We already talked a little bit about this Apex. Do you have any more comments on that?
Uh, Apex is cool, but I've definitely kind of fallen off of it. But I mean,
Yeah.
cool looking character, at least, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, he looks dope as hell. I
Mm-hmm.
thought he was gonna come in high noon everybody, but it
Yeah,
didn't
it's
happen.
high noon.
But
Oh man.
so I guess we'll just move straight into Battlefield, man. Battlefield had
Hmm.
an interesting little bit there, man. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know what to think of this game just from that little bitty that bit of a cinematic trailer that they gave us,
Oh
where it
yeah.
was kind of just a bunch of shit happening all at
Yeah,
once,
yeah. It was a
and
lot. It
and
was a lot.
and then you had the robots coming out and stuff, and they were calling it 2042, and I was like, oh, are they going futuristic with it then? Well, seeing actual some of this gameplay now, the trailer kind of led me astray because
Yeah,
I
most
saw a
definitely.
lot of like futuristic bullshit being put in this, but it wasn't. It was not put in. Um, it was there's like a few things that are put in that is a little futuristic and that I could personally do without, but apparently they are developing these things in real life for combat. And one is just like a little drone that can shoot explosives out and attack stuff. And the other one is those little robot dogs. And I don't really
Yeah, the
know.
robot dogs.
I don't know what those do um,
I've seen videos
because
of them. I forget
yeah,
what the name of the
of real
company
life ones
is.
or the Battlefield
Yeah,
ones.
the real life ones. They're kind of creepy, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't vibe with it. I have a thing. I have a thing with animatronics and shit. And like with as much as I love going to Disney and stuff, animatronics creep me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like I would never be able to work like on a ride because the moment that the animatronic starts moving by itself, I'm gone. I'm off that ride and I'm quitting my
Yeah.
fucking job. I'm not fitting to sit there and get choked out by fucking Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You
Oh
got me
man.
all the way fucked up.
Oh man. So Five Nights at Freddy's was your favorite game, right?
I never played it.
Oh man,
I
dude.
never played it, man. I
Oh,
refused, man. Oh
I.
man, what's worse for me is the animatronics that are underwater. That's the worst
Ooh,
because
that sounds pretty terrifying.
like back at there was this one in Universal Studios back when they had the Jaws ride. In certain areas, Jaws would just like pop up out of the water, and that terrified me as a kid because
Oh
one,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can't see the animatronic because it's on a track, and so it's so far down in this lake that by the time it swam up to surface, like it had to go up a whole track, right?
Hmm.
And so it would surface and it would take it, your boat would basically be right on top of it by the time he surfaced, and so you
Yeah.
wouldn't see it riding up, and it scared the fuck out of me, and I think that did some damage to me because I have some problems with animatronics.
Yeah, yeah. I feel that. I feel that.
But anyways, these robots are the only thing to me that look a little futuristic,
Hmm.
per se. Uh, I personally think that the 20 horse sized drone, or what is it, 20 drone duck sized drones versus the one horse sized tank. I think that's
Oh
funny.
yeah,
I
that.
think that is a really funny thing because, like, would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Yeah,
Like, I think
yeah,
that's funny, but I will not be playing that game mode because it looks stupid.
yeah,
like I can't. I hate to be like that, but it looks so dumb.
yeah. I
Um,
think it's cool that they're giving you. I mean, the whole thing about it with this mode is the fact that you can pretty much
do whatever you
set it
want.
up.
It's
Yeah, do
sandbox.
whatever you want, set it up however you want. Set it in whatever time period you want.
I
Which,
loved that. Whenever they dropped the Bad Company 2 grenade, I was like, oh
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know
man,
bad companies like that.
mm,
That's like the favorite.
that is the Battlefield game.
Yeah, for a lot
That
of people.
that
Yeah.
like Bad Company 2 is where I started playing Battlefield at, and like what made me start buying those games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember Bad Company. It was pretty good. But yeah, this game mode looks crazy and all over the place, and I can already see the YouTube videos like right now.
Oh,
There
I
is
know. I
the
can't wait to see everybody's
compilations
like
and
nuts ass clips where they're like dive bombing out of a jet and fucking shooting somebody with a rocket launcher and jumping back in the jet. I
yeah,
can't wait for those clips to return. It's been a
yeah,
while since 2012, and I need that time to return.
yeah. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna be getting that. But yeah, that Portal reveal, the Portal game mode, looking pretty good, man. I
Yeah,
don't know if I'm
I
actually
like
gonna
it.
buy the game yet, considering it's just multiplayer. But well, okay, I guess I'm a hypocrite because I bought Overwatch, and Overwatch is obviously just multiplayer. But I've never
Yeah.
been super big into the Battlefield games, but this might make me get into it.
Does
I
this
will
one
say
not
that.
come with a story?
No, multiplayer only.
Oh, that is interesting.
I mean, but it's like these days though, it depending on who you are, it that still might be worth it. The only real issue though is I think it's for next gen consoles it's $70, which is like
Ooh.
yeah, but I mean if it's I don't think it's gonna be $70 for PC. It better not be because that's
I
probably what
hope
I'd get
not.
it on. Yeah, um, and yeah, it better not be. But that was that. Moving on to what I thought was
Bust,
the
bust, bust.
tippy top in terms of announcement of this whole entire thing was the Dead Space remake. Dude, bro, let me tell you,
Dog.
man.
The
Man,
Dead
this
Space thing, I had fucking conspirized that's what they were going to announce because they motherfucking said, "Oh, we're bringing back a fan favorite IP that we used to have," and I was like, "It better motherfucking be Dead Space.
yeah,
If it's
that's what
not Dead
everybody was
Space,
saying. Yeah, how what else could it be? Because they already brought back Mass
nothing."
Effect. I could see if Mass Effect Legendary Edition, if that didn't come out, I could see people maybe saying, "Oh, it would be um, Mass Effect," but they already made Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So the only thing that was really left, oh well, I can maybe you can make the argument like Mirror's Edge, which is something they
Yeah,
really need to bring back anyway. But we just had Catalyst a couple years back, so it was fairly
Mirror's
recent.
Edge
But
was so good too.
yeah, dude. Oh, but yeah, the last Dead Space game that came out was in 2011, I believe. Dead
Yeah,
Space 3.
I never played that one. I only played 1 and 2.
Me, yeah, same. That was kind of when they started going into like the kind of more actiony type
Yeah,
aspect, which I wasn't
yeah, and
crazy
Dead
about. But
Space 3 was a cooperative game.
yeah, same. Yep. Yeah, it kind of went the same direction as Resident Evil 5. But yeah, I
Yeah,
might just because I'm a fan, I might go back and check it out.
I've
Just
always
to
wanted to
see it.
play the Dead Space 3 because I think a cooperative Dead Space game would be fun.
Well, I mean, we should get on that. Me and you.
Hit it up, hit it
Yeah,
up.
man. Yeah. But dude, yeah,
So
this
I want to know more about this remake that they're doing. Like, are they gonna completely rebuild the game? Is it a reboot? Is it just or is it more of a remaster where they're gonna just make the graphics better and re-release it as it was, or are they just gonna completely rewrite a whole new game?
So, what there was an article that I read where they said they were going to, or EA Motive said they were going to, or it's going to be completely rebuilt from the ground up with the
Ooh,
new Frostbite engine or whatever, and they
yo,
said, and I guess quote, um, they said they're going to offer a deeper and more immersive experience.
that means there's gonna be a first-person mode.
Maybe. I don't know. See, it's kind of weird because when you say remake, a remake can honestly be like one of two things. Like you can
It can be anything, yeah.
yeah, you
As
can
far as
have
remaking a game goes.
yeah, I mean you can have like a remake I always point to Resident Evil because Resident Evil did remakes. They to me they're kind of they set the gold standard for remakes, but in turn their remakes differ depending on what game you're talking about. So with Resident Evil 1, you could argue that Resident Evil 1 remake was more of like a remaster because
Yeah.
the core gameplay was pretty much the same, exactly the same. They they redid everything. They touched up everything, but in terms of like the mansion layout and like the enemies, like they were all the same, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But with Resident Evil 2,
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2 was more of like a kind of like a reboot in a way, like a reimagining. Like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
wasn't fixed camera. Like they didn't do what they did with Resident Evil 1 where they took like the fixed camera fixed camera angles of Resident Evil 1, kind of like the old school format of the original. What they did was they redid it in like the new Resident Evil style games, like Resident Evil 4 and up, kind of like the over the shoulder third person games. So I think I think it's probably going to be a mix of both. It sounds like they're like because when I think of like rebuilding the game, I think they're going to take the game and literally like touch up everything, like rebuild the assets, all that stuff. But to be on the safe side, I think they're going to keep the gameplay the same because this is one of those games where I think a lot of people have a lot of font, like it means a lot to a lot of people,
Yeah.
you know, and you don't want to mess this up. And
Do you, do you think that with this one, do you think that they will go for a more scary element? Because a lot of interviews that I watched about Dead Space back in the day is that the developer, his whole point with making that game is he wanted to make the scariest game out there. And,
I know what interview you're talking about, man. Was it War Stories?
Yeah,
Dude, that was such a good interview. Oh, that's one of my favorite ones. I love that guy. That guy is freaking awesome. But yeah, you know, I
with
think
the popularity rising of horror games, especially the new genre that Resident Evil has taken on, whereas it's not as much of a like I would say back in the day, like that fixed camera angle shit, that's not a horror game to me. That was like an arcade shooter kind of. Like it wasn't like, I don't know, it felt more arcadey than it did like scary. And maybe that's just because of like the graphics and the sound effects aren't that great and I'm used to, better stuff. And maybe that's why I play it off as a little rickety. But
what?
but like,
it's the first time I've heard that term being used for
a video
rickety
game.
Bro, I'm taking
man,
that. I'm totally
it's just
taking
like it's
that game was rickety.
It's rickety as hell, man. No, it's just it just seems like it's very like, I don't know.
It's old school, definitely.
Yeah, it just seems like it's very shoot 'em up, and that there wasn't a whole lot of scary parts for me. Now,
you definitely should give it a try.
Now, I will have to say right now, there was one moment, and I can't remember if this is in Silent Hill or Resident Evil, but it was fixed camera, and you're walking down this hallway, and all of a sudden this dog jumps through the window, and it was like a fucked up like zombie dog.
Yeah.
And man, that scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. It made me jump, but that was literally it.
That sounds like Resident Evil Remake. That's because Resident Evil Remake had the dogs. Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. But yeah, I would definitely give it a shot. If you don't like it, I understand. But yeah, going back to what you were saying earlier in terms of it being leaning on the scary factor, I do think they're going to kind of up the atmosphere and really make it like even more scary, like all the dark parts in that game, because there were like a couple parts in the game where like all the lights shut off and then that's when you got really scared because
Yeah.
you're like, oh god, oh please,
What is coming towards me?
yeah, what's about to come towards
What is
me?
around me in the dark?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Oh,
I
dude.
hated that, and like the only thing that you could see was like whatever was like pretty much directly in front of you because of your
Yeah,
flashlight. Oh
yeah,
my
man.
god. Oh,
Oh,
I hate stuff like that. It makes me feel so like closed in and trapped. But like that's the feeling they're
yeah.
going for,
Oh,
so I
dude.
respect it. But like
Yeah.
I hate it
Oh,
because like I can't see what's about to hit me from my left or my right.
yeah, man. What got me was because I actually, for my latest video, I actually went back and played a little bit to get some B-roll to use,
Yeah.
and man, dude, I forgot how I was actually still getting kind of freaked out, man.
Were you
Even
really?
after all, yeah, even after all this time, because I forgot how much of how impactful like the soundtrack was. Because
Oh
whenever
yeah.
a necromorph would come out and freak you out, it would be like, dang, like it would be like this like really like dramatic like orchestral score like score that would play whenever they jump out. So not only were you freaked out whenever they'd come out and jump at you, but they'd also have the score like it would play like really loudly, so that would kind of add to
So
like the
that
jump
would like
factors.
yeah, that would grab
Oh
your
my
attention
god,
too.
yeah, it's like
Yeah, and
and you
that was something he was talking about in the War Stories interview. Is that one of the most important things to him from the get go was the look of his monsters and the score for the video game because he said those are the two most important things that will make anybody scared of a horror movie is visuals and sound. And
yeah.
he's like, if you've got a good score on there, then you're going to make them jump, and then they're going to see that and actually be scared. And
Yeah,
so
man.
he was like, from day one, we knew we weren't, limiting any of the budget away from sound or any of that.
Yeah. And
And
they
I respect
nailed
that
it.
too because they did. They built that like a legit horror movie, and I think
Yes,
that's why
dude.
so many people, especially of our generation, enjoyed it because there's a whole bunch of fiends out there for horror movies.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that like I said in my video, it's that was the first game I remember. I don't remember playing a lot of like scary games growing up, but for whatever reason, like I actually went out and bought that game. For
Yeah.
whatever reason, I went out and bought it and I played it, and dude, bro, it scared me out to death, but it was so fun, dude. I remember thinking, man, this is so scary, but it was such a thrilling experience to play just by yourself. And oh my god, like there's so many great moments, dude. Whenever like the first moment whenever you're whenever you first see the necromorphs when you're out with your crew, and then they come
Oh
through like
yeah.
the roof, and they come down, they kill like the two other dudes, and then the only the other people, they go
I
through like that.
forgot you start off with a crew in the first one.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because you're like, the whole point is you're trying to go and fix the Ishimura ship because
Yeah.
something happened to it. But as you as they're flying towards it, like they get like pulled in and they crash and stuff. I feel like I'm freaking spoiling the whole freaking beginning, but anyway, yeah,
Nah, that
there's
game came out like what past 10 years ago. If they haven't played it already, it's their fault.
yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, there's so many good moments. Like whenever you're walking around or you're running from them, whenever you see it, and then you go into the elevator and you think you're safe, you're like, oh my god. But then they freaking open the elevator. And then they try to like claw in and try to get you and stuff, but then like the elevator like closes shut at the very last minute, and it like cuts the necromorph in half, and then you're like, oh, because it's just moments like that where you think for like a split second, okay, I'm good, I know I'm good, and then something happens and to make you think that, or to make you see that you're not good, and like you're literally on edge all the time. Like they did a really good job of making you feel like you were never safe
Yeah,
ever.
yeah. And it was like after you got out of a really hard fight and you'd be proceeding to the next room, you'd walk in there and the door would be insanely fucking loud. And it would just like, there was no points of peace or serenity in those games. You were
Yeah,
always on edge.
yeah. I mean, there were like a couple times, but they were like super far, few and far between. But yeah, I am. I am so stoked for this, and the fact that it is a truly next gen title, bro. Let's go.
Bro,
Let's go. I want to
bro.
see this, bro. Oh
I
god,
want to
like
see it blow up.
I want to see them push the engine to its limits, man. I want to see them push the hardware. That means that nothing's gonna be held back. This game isn't gonna be held back at all. It's gonna look phenomenal, dude. Because some like the games that are already out that use Frostbite look pretty good. Like Star Wars Battlefront 2, that's a damn good looking game, dude.
Oh
Like the
God, it's
environments
beautiful.
and the characters, the environments especially is where that engine really excels at, is making
Yeah,
really good looking environments. And you see that in the trailer when you kind of see they're showing you like the inside of the ship, and it's all like grimy, and it's oh
yeah.
you oh dude, the
And like just even the
atmosphere.
detail. It was
Oh
just a shadow, but just the detail on the necromorph too. Like you could see like
yeah, dude.
strands of like meat or something like coming off of its bladed arms and shit. Like
Yes, man.
man,
Oh, dude. Oh, man.
this is gonna
I'm
be
getting
sick.
chills just thinking about it. Like, I'll never, dude. That part when he was at his workbench and he looks up and you hear the, oh man,
Dog,
oh man, dude. That was it for me. I'm like, I'm ready. I'm sold. I'm
give me the
sold.
game. Give me the game.
Now I understand that.
This is releasing tomorrow, right?
Yeah, right. I understand that, like, there's a YouTuber by the name of Modern Vintage Gamer, and he is not a fan of this remake because, in a way, what he described it as is they're kind of like parading, they're kind of like taking Dead Space's corpse and just kind of like reanimating it in a way,
Yeah,
which I can kind of see because it's not the original developers and it's not like the original team, but you know I I think we should give EA Motive a chance at least. We should give them
yeah.
a chance, and who knows, like
This might
they
come out to be like something really good
yeah, man, maybe they got the blessing of
of the original
the
creator.
yeah, maybe they did. Who knows, man? And from what they showed already, it seems like they do care about the material, and they want to give the fans something
That they're gonna enjoy again.
yeah, that they're gonna enjoy. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it. We gotta move on because yeah, we ended up spending a lot of time on that topic, but I'm just so freaking excited about it.
Oh, I am
uh
too, dude.
yeah, but EA Play in a nutshell, I'd say I'd probably give it a 6, to be
I
honest.
was gonna say the same thing. I'd give it
Yeah,
about a 6 out of 10.
yeah, like Dead Space was cool. Lost and Random was cool, but other than that, Battlefield was cool. But other than that, it's like So it was alright. But yeah, I guess okay showcase. But moving on, let's go ahead and move on to the Skull and Bones progress update. So this game was announced, dude. It had to have been like 2015.
Man, I'm surprised I missed it because like I'm all about some pirate games. And
Yeah.
I loved Assassin's Creed Black Flag and I currently love Sea of Thieves and like I man the more pirate games that they come out with and like make decent,
Mm-hmm.
the better.
Yeah. Oh,
The
I'm sorry.
only thing
2017 was when they unveiled it, but yeah, it was
Oh, okay.
it was a long. It felt like a long time. It's just the thing is they announced it and then you heard nothing.
I'll tell you,
Nothing.
man, a couple things that I hope for it is that it does something different than Sea of Thieves. Like, I hope that there are missions where you go and you kill stuff, and then there's missions where you just go and get treasure, or you're just a transporter or whatever like that. But like, I also want there to be like, um, for your missions, I want you to be able to get better gear. Sea of Thieves, um, your whole like objective, which is arguably why some people fell off of it pretty quickly, but like your whole objective is to get money to buy cosmetics
Yeah.
because none of the stuff that they have in the game, like none of the swords or pistols or anything like that, nothing's different about them except for cosmetically.
Mm-hmm.
and so like they don't do extra damage or anything, and so I would just hope that for Skull and Bones that they do kind of a RPG system with their weapons where like, okay, I started off with this shitty ass rapier, but now, I've got a captain sword and I've got this huge fucking ship that me and all my friends can sail on now and blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so this game, when it was revealed, it was pretty much like the ship battle aspects of Assassin's Creed Black Flag into like one kind of like focused package. So whenever they showed it, it was, they showed like this big like naval battle, and I mean, to be honest, it pretty much just looked like naval battles in Assassin's Creed. But
Right.
people were pretty excited about it. But um since then, like I said, it's been kind of like on the back burner. Like it's Ubisoft hasn't really been like very vocal about it. But it turns out that this game is they're having a lot of trouble figuring out what this game is gonna be. A
Really?
matter of fact, it just entered the alpha stage of production, which is like very, very,
Whoa.
very early. So this whole time, they've been trying to figure out
What
what
the
is this
hell they
game
want
gonna
to
be.
do?
Exactly, exactly. They don't know really anything. It sounds
Sounds like
like.
Kathleen Kennedy with the new Star Wars sequel.
Oh my gosh. In a way, yeah. But I pulled out this article because I think it's just crazy how you really never know how development is going for a lot of these games. And yeah, it's just one of those games that, I mean, they just
It's
Ubisoft just,
just lost in developmental hell.
yeah, they just cannot figure out what's going on with it. And apparently it's too big to fail, according to them. And like, I think there was like some sort of um they made this deal with um some company, and like apparently um oh yeah, where is it, yeah, they made, okay, this is what's crazy, they made a deal with the Singapore government to like
What?
release this game. So they have to make this game. They
Oh
can't cancel it.
shit!
Like they literally have to make this game. So it's gonna come out no matter what. But who knows, dude? Who knows, man? So hopefully they can get their crap together. But um, apparently it's scheduled to release in 2023. Whether or not that actually happens, we'll
We'll
just have to
see.
see. Yeah. But yeah,
I'm
Skull and
expecting
Bones.
lots of pushbacks.
Yeah, yeah, and I definitely think it's Sea of Thieves has probably made it a lot harder for them to kind of figure out how to make the game appealing without people thinking, oh, this is just like a Sea of Thieves ripoff.
Rip off, yeah.
Yeah, because it's so Sea of Thieves is doing so well, it'll be hard. I mean, obviously, there's gonna be those comparisons, so I'd imagine that that's probably making things even more difficult because they're
I was
like,
about to
dang,
say
man.
it'll get those comparisons just because of the fact that it's a pirate game.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that they probably had some ideas that were in Sea of Thieves, but they probably scrapped them once Sea of Thieves
Because
came
they're
out.
Sea
They're
of
thinking like,
Thieves,
oh
yeah.
dang, they put out
Damn it.
that game before us, so now we gotta like go back and pretty much to the drawing board and
Rewrite our whole thing, yeah.
exactly, which is what it sounds like they've been doing this whole time. But yeah, man. Hopefully this game. Hopefully they can figure out what to do with this game. I mean, it'd be a shame if they just canceled it, but considering how it's going, it wouldn't be surprising to me if they just decided
Yeah,
to scrap it.
yeah, I could
Um,
definitely see that.
yeah, we'll see. But moving on from that Ubisoft game,
To
we're
another
going to be moving on
Ubisoft.
to, yeah, another Ubisoft game, which was Tom Clancy's X Defiant game. It is a free to play first person shooter, a crossover shooter, with like various characters from Ubisoft's kind of like portfolio and stuff. And well, I'm gonna save what I think about it. What do you think about it, Alan?
Um, so I'll be honest with you. I saw the trailer for it, and I watched a little bit of the gameplay. Right. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for it. I
Mm-hmm.
think that this could be pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love Ubisoft games. I could say that they are arguably one of my favorite developers out right now,
Yeah.
um, and have been for years. Not only with their first person shooters, but also with their third person games. Assassin's Creed, man, been playing
Mm-hmm.
that forever and have loved the Rainbow Six games and Tom Clancy games for as long as they've came out with those.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been a Ubisoft fan for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and so seeing some of their characters come back um, in this game is kind of cool. Seeing potentially Sam Smith, or not Sam Smith, um,
Sam Fisher.
yeah, Sam Fisher, come into the game from Splinter Cell. Maybe some Siege characters coming into it. Maybe some Ghost Recon characters coming into it. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I think it would be pretty cool though.
Yeah.
I think that the gunplay looks really good. It reminds me, and it even might be. It reminds me a lot of Siege's mechanics with guns and stuff.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
noticed that they added a lean feature and stuff. So that's kind
Mm-hmm.
of cool. But yeah, a lot of the way that this game works reminds me of Rainbow Six Siege a lot, and so that this
Yeah.
might be on the same engine as that and same
Yeah.
mechanics and stuff.
Yeah. Looking at it, that's definitely what I was thinking as well. Is it's very obvious. I think that the the team behind Rainbow Six Siege, I think, probably helped out with this.
Yeah,
Um, I don't. Mm, I think it looks okay. I don't think it looks as bad as what everybody else is thinking. Because if you look on the YouTube video,
has
the
it got a bunch of dislikes?
yeah, the like to dislike ratio is not very good at all. But I think that's mostly because there's just so much competition out in terms of like free to play shooters. Like you really have to go out of your way to kind of like stand out. And unfortunately, I think in some ways this looks a little bit too similar to Rainbow Six Siege, in my opinion. Um, I mean, there's like some obvious like it looks like they took some aspects from like other hero shooter games. Like they give you like abilities, they give you different heroes to pick and stuff like that. But I mean, I can't help but look at this game and think I have seen it before. Not saying it won't be fun, not saying it won't be enjoyable, but I think just first impressions aren't the best. I think they could have done a little bit more, maybe with like the art style, or maybe with I think the gunplay itself looks good. But I think maybe they could have done a little bit more, maybe just in like the visual department, to just make it stand out a little bit more from like the competition. But I mean, I'll try it. It's free. You can't. I mean, you
Yeah, no,
can't
you
argue with
can't beat
that.
free, man.
Yeah, you
Free
can't beat
is
free.
where it's at.
So yeah, I'll definitely be giving it a shot. And who knows, dude? I honestly like it could possibly turn into like the next Siege or the next I guess speaking of Sea of Thieves, both of those games didn't launch in like a really great state. They kind of like left a lot to be desired, but they built a lot on top of those games, and now those games are beloved by everybody. They're more popular than they ever were, really. And a lot of people really like the game now. So I think when it comes out, it might struggle a little bit, but I could definitely see this game becoming really good over time if they decide to keep up with it like they've been keeping up with Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah,
What do you
I
think?
think a lot of people are giving this a little too much shit. I don't know. I just feel like there is not much of a general interest in this because of how much it plays like Siege, so that there's not much originality to it when it
Yeah.
comes to that. But like I see
I
what you're
don't think that's a
saying about the
bad thing
YouTube.
though.
I see what you're saying about the YouTube video. It's got a 12K likes, 23K dislikes. That's rough.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty rough.
literally nearly double the likes. Um,
Yeah.
and then like some of the comments are rough. Like we could solve the world's energy problem by harnessing the power generated by Tom Clancy spinning in his grave right now. Or this
Oh
one,
my gosh, I didn't see
literally
that.
not a single unique thing about it. Also, Tom Clancy's corpse just hit 29 million RPM. Like, like some of these
Oh
people,
my goodness, that's savage.
like
Oh
maybe that's not, like maybe that's not the correct way to react to this game.
yeah,
Um,
I
I,
honestly think. Oh, go ahead. My bad. My bad.
somebody says we care and value about our realistic gunplay. Shows a guy in a clown costume with a sonic leaf blower.
Oh man.
Oh
You
man,
know,
but yeah, that's pretty funny.
I think I think the other thing is I think a lot of people are a little pissed because there's like a version of Sam Fisher in this game, but they haven't made a Splinter Cell game in forever. So I think a lot of
No,
people feel kind of like cheated. They're like,
betrayed.
man, yeah, you guys keep putting shit, Sam Fisher into like all these other random games, but you won't give us a freaking Splinter Cell game. Dislike.
Yeah,
I think the dislike to like ratio would be a lot different if
if Splinter
there
Cell
was
had a
like
game.
yeah, if there was like a new Splinter Cell game that got announced or
Yeah,
something,
and
you know,
I
to kind
agree
of
with
lift the
that
mood, the
because
overall
like
mood.
because like they kind of did Sam Fisher dirty in
Oh yeah,
Siege. They
yeah,
put him in Siege and they made him like easily one of the most retarded characters. They
mm-hmm,
gave him okay, so like they gave him an ability that his only like in the games his whole thing was like he was the master of stealth
mm-hmm,
and you were just the person who played as that master of stealth.
mm-hmm,
But like in Siege, they made him a little gun launcher thingy that shoots a camera that can attach itself to a wall and it can look through both sides of the wall. So the wall that you attached it to, it can look right back at you, or it
mm-hmm,
can look on the other side of the wall into the room that you're trying to breach and clear.
mm-hmm.
And like I'll be honest, man, it's one of the most useless things ever because it gets one little zap, and most of the time, once you shoot it into the wall, the enemy team notices and just caps it immediately. So,
Yeah,
like, there is no balance to it whatsoever. It's really stupid. His guns are good, his guns are really
mm-hmm,
good. Love
mm-hmm.
his guns. But, like, I don't want to play that character whenever he's got such a bad ability that I'm almost going to never use it and just for his guns.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they've
I
kind of done
agree.
Sam Fisher dirty recently, and I kind of totally agree with what you said. I think um, if they would have released a Splinter Cell game in the last 5 or to 8 years,
Mm-hmm.
then they probably wouldn't have had that much backlash on putting
Yeah,
Sam Fisher in these two games. But they're probably getting a lot of hate from the fans, being like, "How can you call Sam Fisher one of your characters when you haven't included him in a game in over 10 years?"
yeah, yeah. I definitely think maybe having a Splinter Cell game could at least like ease the just kind of cool the room a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
I do think maybe that might be a reason why people are so heated because they're just like, oh my god, you know, just another Tom Clancy, you know,
shooter.
game that doesn't have yeah. So,
That's also
but I
something
mean,
we don't have a lot of right now too. Is we don't have a whole lot of like stealth based games. Like at one point there was a lot. There was like a Splinter Cell coming out
yeah,
so often. Hitman's were popping off.
Metal Gear.
The Metal Gear. What was the one game too? The first person like games that were I want to say like Defiance maybe. No, not Defiance. It was um
Dishonored.
Dishonored. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, there's not much like real stealthy games out right now,
Yeah,
and so
they've definitely
like
taken a
that
back
could
seat.
definitely do that could definitely do them some good because like people could be like, oh shit, here's a new stealth game to play that's not Hitman.
Yeah. I think people just want to see Ubisoft do something that's not a live service game that
Yeah,
has microtransactions and is like, endless. And I think they've definitely fallen away from that because they used to have a lot more variety. But yeah, I think having a new Splinter Cell game just for that would do Ubisoft. I think it would serve them well, but we'll just have to see. Hopefully they listen and they make a new Splinter Cell game. But as far as this game goes, I'll try it out. It looks okay.
yeah,
But that will wrap up our game section. Let's go ahead and move on to our movie/TV segment. And our first topic in this segment will be the Flash movie. There was some leaked photos that came out. I guess like set photos and like behind the scenes stuff. And who man, first of all, dude, this movie is probably gonna be like nuts, dude. This
yeah.
movie is gonna be freaking crazy. I mean, like
I
Batman's in it, Supergirl's in
dude,
it. Like
the
what the heck?
Batman.
Like Michael Keaton's Batman is
The
gonna be in
the
it.
the '89 Batmobile, dude. The
Yeah, dude.
'89 Batmobile. It looked just like that one
Yeah,
that fucking what's his name did. Tim Burton.
Michael Keaton.
No. I was talking about the director, but yeah, Michael Keaton's
No,
Batman.
yeah, no, you're right, Tim Burton.
Yeah, dude. That honestly, that Batmobile is one of the most iconic Batmobiles there is, and the fact that
Mm-hmm.
they recreated it almost right on, dog,
Yeah, that's tight.
dog.
That's really really cool.
When I
I
saw
just
that got me hyped for this movie.
Yeah,
Like, I
I'm
can't wait
just
to
like
see how they tie it in. I wonder if it's gonna be the same, um, like, like what it's gonna be. Not necessarily the same actor, of course, it's gonna be him, but like, I don't know, man. I just don't know what to expect with this. I mean, we've got old Batman and all that in it, so maybe this is like kind of his the insurgency film. Maybe it's like that.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's definitely. I think they said it's gonna be like some version of Flashpoint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be influenced by the Flashpoint comic, which you know obviously has like a lot of
That's the
really
one.
big ramifications.
Is that the one where he goes back in time to save his mom, and then he goes back to the future, and it's like Batman. He doesn't have powers for one. Batman murders people now. Superman's been locked up by the government and is super skinny. Is that what Flashpoint was? Aquaman and Wonder
Uh,
Woman are at war because they had a steamy breakup.
Steamy breakup. I think so. I know it's the one where like it's the story that created the New 52. And because like what he did with like the whole time travel thing, like he messed up everything
He messed
and
up
literally
everybody.
launched a new like universe where like things were like semi
Different.
different and stuff. And
Yeah.
I one of the big things in that story was that version of Batman was Thomas Wayne. So
Yeah.
in that in that universe, I guess Thomas Wayne or Bruce Wayne and Martha Wayne were the ones who got killed, and Thomas Wayne survived, and he became Batman. And yeah, I think he did like kill people and
Yeah.
stuff, and he had like the red bat
Yeah.
signal and stuff.
And like Martha
So
Wayne becomes the Joker, right?
I
Because
think
Bruce was the one that got
so.
shot and she goes insane from it, and then Thomas finds every criminal as a scumbag because his son just died before him, and so he starts murdering people.
I think so. I honestly forget. I don't really know that much about DC comics and stuff, but I just know that there's a lot of like weird stuff and it like messed up the timeline and
Yeah.
everything was weird. So I'm guessing they're gonna do the same thing with this, and they're probably gonna use it as a way to kind of like reboot the DC universe or the DC cinematic universe. I'd imagine. But my question is like, how is Supergirl like? Where does she fit? Where does
Yeah,
she
where
fit
does she
into
fit
this?
into this? Yeah.
Because I don't remember her being in the comic. Then again, I didn't read the comic,
Have
so
you
I'm
seen
talking out of my butt
the
right now.
Have you seen the animated film for this?
Mm-mm.
You should definitely
Mm-mm.
watch that. That will help probably prepare you for this movie
Okay.
because
Okay.
Flashpoint is it's a really interesting movie, but it's super long.
Yeah. Okay.
But
No, I'll definitely have to give it a shot.
another thing like that was kind of announced this week, um, and had some pictures of it. And I hate to just like throw a new topic into this, but
No, you're good.
you were talking about how this created the new 52, and that made me think about Injustice. Injustice is getting
Mm-hmm.
a new animated movie.
Really?
Yes,
Nice. Nice.
Ed Boon announced on his Twitter and on the Mortal Kombat Twitter, and on the Injustice Twitter, that the animated film was almost completed. And the
Wow.
way that they have Batman designed in that looks fucking badass. Like,
Nice.
he's jacked as hell, but we don't have anything else except for one picture right now.
I gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. It'll be it'll be interesting to see what they do with that and what they do with this new Flash movie. I'm definitely looking forward to see what the heck this movie is gonna be about. Because yeah, every new announcement that comes out of this makes me even more intrigued. So
Do they have a
very
time
much looking
slot for
forward to it.
this? Oh, okay. November 4th, 2022.
Yeah. So next year we'll see. We'll see. I'm guessing we're gonna have because of all these leaks, they're probably gonna have some sort of trailer come out just
Yeah.
to keep people satisfied
Yeah.
because this is ridiculous, the leaks. But anyway, let's move on to our second topic in the movie slash TV segment, and this one is probably how should I say,
It's what
probably
we've been
one of the
asking from God for like ever since Kathleen Kennedy took over Star Wars.
yeah, it's definitely one of the most hottest topics we're probably going to be discussing. So there are talks that Mandalorian creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are reportedly, so this is a rumor, but apparently they're going to be erasing the Star Wars sequel trilogy. So Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker, which, like I said at the beginning, I didn't even know you could do that.
Man,
That's freaking crazy, man. I mean, didn't I didn't think the movies were amazing, but I didn't think they were like that bad. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
I personally do think they were that bad, and here's why. At the beginning of them coming out, I was such a hopeful little kid watching Star
me
Wars
too.
again.
Yeah, I
But
was. That
then,
was a
but then
hype
they
time,
just
dude.
took every bit of my expectations and they beat it with a rock. And then they violently choked it out and buried it in the desert somewhere. Like, it's so
Oh that
my
was so graphic.
expectations by the time Rise of Skywalker got here, I was just like, I hope they don't say anything stupid in this. And then she said, I'm Ray Skywalker, and I was like, motherfucker, dude, y'all couldn't even do that. But like,
oh,
my general distaste for this movie franchise came when I started watching different interviews of Kathleen Kennedy and her squad, talking about coming up with the Star Wars shit, and you start to slowly but surely find out they had no fucking plan at all. And Kathleen Kennedy
nope.
even admits it at one point that they had no plan for the three movies going into making them. That they were just there to
Yeah.
cash in on that fucking Star Wars dough. And
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
so also number B,
Number B.
in fucking
I like that.
in Rise of the Skywalker, one of the worst decisions that they made was bringing Palpatine back alive, because that makes the first 6
Yeah.
movies fucking pointless.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. That's
Because
a real good point.
because the whole thing was and now Um, Palpatine creates Anakin using midichlorians. He creates life with him inside of Shmi. Shmi has Anakin, and he's so force sensitive because he's literally made of midichlorians. He's found by Qui-Gon. He starts studying the Jedi in the Jedi Academy with Obi-Wan because Qui-Gon tragically dies. All the while, Palpatine's watching this from the background. Eventually, we know what happens. He turns to the dark side, and then he turns back to the light side because he makes his sacrifice and does what, kids? He kills Palpatine for his son. Now, did any of us act like once, Jedi got resistance to fall damage? Did we believe he died? No, but that was like the best possible ending for that. But they actively made it worse by digging it up and going, nah, we're resurrecting Palpatine. They gave him a jolt of lightning from those paddle thingies and fucking brought him back and put him on a defibrillator and was like, I mean, not a defibrillator, they put him on like a whole bunch of life
They gave him the juice, man.
They had him hooked up to all those tubes and shit. He was like, he was in a hospital bed. And honestly, he might have been, because that actor is really old. But but no, like, I don't know, man. That it rubbed me the wrong way a lot with what they did with that. I thought there was absolutely no reason to kill Luke whatsoever.
A lot of wasted potential. That's pretty much like my issue with like the whole trilogy is this trilogy could have been so much more. So much potential, and it's just, for me, it was just very underwhelming. Like, nothing really happened. You know what I mean? Like, these movies, there were like, every movie kind of like erased. They would set, like, the thing is they set up a lot of really cool things with Force Awakens, but of course, the second one, it was pretty much like, nah, screw all that, screw everything that happened in Force Awakens. We're not gonna worry about that. We're just delete. But of course, everybody hated that. So what they had to do, they had to freaking, bring back J.J. Abrams, rehash a lot of stuff, bring back freaking Palpatine because they didn't have any other ideas. You could tell that because of all of the shenanigans with the movies and the way everything was set up, that they didn't have a plan. They try to go back and do what they did with the original trilogy, which is, every movie had a different director, but that's fine if there's like an overarching plan, an overarching plot. But obviously they didn't have any of that because every director had their own version of kind of what they wanted to do. J.J. Abrams, obviously, he's a fan, so that showed a lot with his first film, which some people criticize for being too much like a rehash of A New Hope. I could see that, but it still was a pretty good start. They set up a lot of cool stuff, but then you got Rian Johnson, and Rian Johnson is like, screw that. Let's make Star Wars interesting by flipping all the characters upside down, doing all this wacky stuff, which is, what, look, I can respect that. I don't think here's the thing. That would be Rian Johnson, good director, had some good ideas. I just don't think those ideas should have been put on existing characters. If this, matter of fact, I think all of the issues with this trilogy would have been completely negated if it was about a whole new cast of characters. Kind of like The Mandalorian.
Yeah, and that's
maybe
that's
tie
what
it.
I was thinking about it too. Is like, if they would have tried to tie this into the Skywalker saga at all, then this probably would have been a much better film franchise.
Yeah, like you said, they ended the Skywalker saga on a good note. It was fine the way it was, and that all they had to do was, I mean, dude, Star Wars is so vast. There are so many different stories you could tell. They could have done. You're telling me you couldn't find anything? You couldn't create any new type of story? Seriously? Well, I mean, obviously Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni figured out, or they showed that they can make something unique.
You want to know
and
why?
cool.
You want to know why?
Why?
Because they're actual Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
That's
No,
why.
you can definitely. Yep. Yep. You can definitely tell. You can definitely tell that they really love Star Wars. And
Man.
I mean, J.J. Abrams likes Star Wars,
And
but
see, I thought that in my personal opinion, that Force Awakens was one of the best movies out of these new three. I thought as it went on, they got worse. Like, I think
yeah,
that
yeah,
they should have stuck with J.J. Abrams' plan. I don't remember what the falling out was over there, but I think that eventually his plan would have turned out to be something good. I think personally that J.J. Abrams had a plan to make Finn and Rey both
dude.
both the
Oh
main
man,
characters, because
that
I
would
mean,
have.
let's just
Oh,
talk about it. Like, Finn had the saber training. He knew how to wield it. He picked it up and was immediately knew how to ignite it and immediately knew how to use it. Rey, on the other hand, knew how to use the fucking force immediately. So, like, you could have done a whole arc with them where Rey didn't know how to use the lightsaber, and he's like, well, yeah, this is how I figured out how to do this easier, and, like, I can block this way quicker if I swing it all the way around instead of go all the way back around, or something like that.
yeah,
And she could teach him the ways of the force, and then
yeah,
eventually they find old man Luke, hiding off Herman and about to die, because that's what Jedi do when they get old. I wasn't mad
yeah.
that he went and hid hermitedly. I was mad that they made him such a bitch ass. Like, literally, they took the most powerful and most hopeful Jedi in the galaxy, and he was like, "Yeah, nah, Dad. I know that you've killed like a whole bunch of like different planets of people, but like I still sense the good in you. You're good." Kylo
Yeah,
has one
yeah.
bad nightmare about like turning evil, and he's like, "Yo, kill this
No,
dude,
kill him,
kill this
kill
dude!"
him.
Like,
He
what the
can't live.
hell was that? What the
Yeah, that's
fuck
a
was
good
that?
point. Yeah,
Why did they
that
make him such a bitch ass?
that was yeah. I do remember that was probably a lot of the fans' biggest gripe with the whole movie was Luke and like his portrayal. And I remember in the theater when I watched it when she gave him the lightsaber, and I was expecting like this big moment where he's like,
He
I haven't
threw
seen
it.
this in like forever. But then yeah, he looks at it, he just throws it. I'm like, what? Did that just happen? And then yeah, that was man, yeah. But yeah, no, what you said earlier about it should have been Finn and Poe, or not Finn and Poe, Finn
And
and
Rey.
Ray. They both should have been. Yeah, dude. You can kind of tell that's what they were gonna do. And
Traitor.
honestly,
That whole sword fight with the traitor stormtrooper wasn't for nothing. They were going
yeah, and
somewhere with that.
there were so many signs, and it really sucks, man, because they really like misled the audience with the marketing. Like the whole
Man.
time before the movie came out, you thought, okay, Finn's a Jedi. Obviously, he's got the lightsaber.
Yup.
Like this whole time, they make you believe he's gonna be like the dude. But then what do? They freaking, like they cast him off, and he's really not really like that important for like the rest of the movies.
No.
They really did him wrong, like,
Right.
and it's even in the Rise of Skywalker, he's like, I gotta tell you something. It's like he was gonna tell her probably that he was force sensitive, but that didn't go anywhere. You know what I mean?
Nowhere.
Because they just didn't have a plan again, and it's like, yeah, so much
wasted potential.
opportunities.
Yeah.
In Snoke, they built him up to be this big thing.
And
What
they
do?
killed
Kill
him
him off.
like that.
Kill him off.
That
like,
was
yeah,
the
literally a snap of a
bitchiest
finger.
death,
I was
dude.
like,
Oh my
are you serious? What? What are you talking about?
And then we
Like,
find out, like, the first scene that we seen Palpatine, we find out that he's got like an army of Snokes created and ready
yeah,
to go.
he was just, yeah, wow. It's like
That
really,
and that was
man?
that was kind of cool, because like right before that movie came out was the new comic that confirmed that Palpatine was Anakin's father, had just come out. So we had just learned canonically from Disney in their comic series that Palpatine created Anakin and could create life with midi-chlorians, and then they threw it in the movie. And I think that personally is pretty cool, that Palpatine was that powerful with the Force that he could just create life with the Force. But like, dude, all them Snokes was stupid as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
nothing was intimidating about that. It just looked like a bunch of aliens and a bunch of goop that nobody understood. That could have just been shot in the head at any moment. I'm willing to believe that after all the battle was over, they just went through there, and every Snoke that was in every chamber, they just capped him in the head, and they were like, "Well, he's not getting out of there."
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
So I'm kind of happy about Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau erasing those movies. They rubbed me the wrong way, and they made a mockery of what we all know and love as Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that. And to play devil's advocate, people kind of said the same thing about the prequels. But
yeah,
now the prequels are kind of looked, especially after the sequel trilogy, a lot of people are looking back at the prequels and being like, you know what? Like Thanos said in Infinity War, perhaps I treated you too harshly. You know what I mean?
Man, are you about to sit here and tell me that they're going to come out with a worse Star Wars product than they just did? Because that's depressing.
No, but what I'm saying is, I think after, give it some time, and I think people will watch them again and look back and appreciate some of the good things, because there were some good things that came out of the sequel trilogy.
Like we got to see Leia become force sensitive,
that was really cool.
Not necessarily the scene where she was flying through space, but like
that was
that scene, but the scene where her and Luke were training with the lightsabers, that was dope. That was dope.
Like the fact, like they showed the new lightsaber type. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yellow lightsabers, canon. That's tight. They like the new force stuff they were doing, like with the visions and like how they were like
stuff.
Yeah, that was cool. Like they did some
yeah.
cool stuff with like the force. Like there were good things. It's just overall, I think
so wasted.
Yeah, just a lot of wasted potential. Now, in terms of them literally deleting the movies and like, I don't know, making them not canon or whatever. I don't know if they could do that. I don't know if I see them doing it, but I think if they did, a lot of people would probably be pretty happy.
The only reason I think that they could personally get away with doing it is because they've been working alongside George Lucas on set of Mando. And
that's a good point.
I think with that they would get that he would definitely voice his opinion about that and be like, yeah, no, fuck those movies.
Yeah.
Like, I single-handedly came out of retirement and made LucasArts again to prevent any further mockery made of my fucking franchise. And so he I think George Lucas is very unhappy with those movies. And so I think if they go to Disney and they go, hey, we want to erase this sequel franchise that y'all allowed Kathleen Kennedy to get away with, because just quite honestly, it's offensive to Star Wars fans. Like you know how like y'all cater to people who get offended easily. Like we're offended now. It's our turn. Okay. Don't fuck with Star Wars. All right.
Yeah.
And but like I'm glad that they're taking it out. I hope they take it out. Rewrite that shit. It was awful.
Yeah. One more thing I'll say before we move on. It really is a shame that they didn't ask or they didn't consult George Lucas.
Man. Because he had ideas. He had ideas for a sequel trilogy. Yeah.
Okay, I get he's not the best writer. He's not the best direct. Well, no, you could argue that he is a pretty good director. He's just writing is just not his strong suit. Yeah, he's really good in terms of his ideas and stuff. So it's why wouldn't you go to him just for some ideas?
Yeah,
bro, he could come up with some cool stuff.
It's his universe. Of course he could come up with cool stuff. This dude dreamed up a whole universe of aliens and humans and all living together in a civilization of harmony, somehow protected by these space wizards that wield laser swords. That's fucking awesome. Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they at no point was like, hey, let's not ask the guy that created this whole universe. He
Exactly.
gave us the
Like, come
money, or
on.
we gave him money to do this, so fuck him.
Yeah, it's like it's like they pretty much like just cast them out, and they're like, well, no, the prequel movies suck, so we're not gonna like listen. But it's like, no, dude, like
The
the pre in
prequels
terms of lore,
have oh my god.
they have the best, like the best lore
I
in like the entire. Say what you want about like how they're written or whatever, but even then, like I don't think they were that bad, man.
I don't
Like the
either.
writing wasn't even like. Yeah, I could talk about the prequels all day, but
I could too.
heck,
I
I could talk about Star Wars all day,
conversation
but
because
yeah,
we've
yeah.
got 2 more topics to hit after this one.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So let's go ahead and move on to our anime slash manga segment, I guess. With our first topic, which is the final Neon Genesis film is premiering, or it
Yeah.
might have already, or no, it's about to premiere on Amazon Prime next month actually. And this is a big deal because these movies take like forever
Yeah.
to come out. Like
Yeah.
the first movie came out in shoot, when did it come out? I'm gonna have to look it up. In 2007. 2007, dude, was when the first freaking movie came out. It's been a long freaking time. And of course, these movies, for those of you guys who don't know, are pretty much like a retelling of the original Neon Genesis with like new animation and kind of like new story elements thrown in there. But yeah, like the fact that it's taken this long, dude, this long, like,
Bro.
oh my god, like more than 10 years,
Bro.
for them to come out with all of these. But the fact, like, the final one is finally coming out, this is a big deal. Like it's finally done.
It's over.
Yeah, which is very exciting for me because I've been wanting to go back. I didn't even know that. First of all, these were taking so long. I thought it was already done. But that gives me a chance to go back and
Watch all of them.
all of them.
Yeah, I haven't
Because
seen
I
all
love
of
the
them,
original series.
I haven't watched them at all yet, and so
Oh,
it's
dude,
actually
it's
on my list.
Crazy.
Like I told you,
Crazy.
I've got a anime binge that I'm doing right now, and I'll be honest, I've been a little negligent recently because Hades and Tarkov have gotten in the way. But
Yeah, I understand.
and my
I
job
understand.
plays a big role in that
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah.
I do plan on getting back into it, and I'm still on Demon Slayer episode 3 right now. It's
Yeah.
just I've been taking a little bit of break because
Anime can be a time sink.
well, it's just like there's just certain times in my life where I come home and I really want to watch anime, and that's all I'll do. But then there's other
Yeah.
times where I come home and I'm like, I want to play something.
Yeah.
So-
yeah. Most of the time for me, it's playing something. But
Yeah.
I have had an itch to rewatch. That's my other problem. I like rewatching stuff and I like replaying games as well.
Yep.
So
So you never
it's
move on.
like-
You just keep playing and watching the same old shit.
yeah, I have an itch. I have an itch to rewatch Gurren Lagann because it's like a
Man.
thing that I do.
I'll be honest with you. I
every year.
watch it almost every year. Yeah.
Yeah, just to kind of like build yourself up. Makes it feel good.
If you're ever
know?
in that dark place, man,
Yeah, it'll
it's
definitely
an
make
inspiring
you.
anime.
Yeah, super inspiring. But going back to Evangelion or however you want to say it, I'm pretty psyched because now I just get to rewatch. I get to binge all of these, and I don't have to wait. Like I think I'm very curious to see how they do it. You know what I'm probably gonna do? I'm probably gonna rewatch the original series and like the original movie. And
Honestly,
then
might be the play.
I'm gonna watch the new one, the new movies.
Yeah. That might be the way to do it, dog.
Yeah, because I remember like bits and pieces, but like in terms of like the whole story, I'm kind of like, it's a little like foggy. So just as like a refresher, I've honestly like that's another one that I want to rewatch.
Yeah.
Because it was very, very very good. It got kind of weird at the end because they kind of ran out of budget, and they got kind of lazy with some stuff. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. What are your thoughts?
I like I said, I'll be honest with you. I haven't watched any of the Neon Genesis stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect from it, and I definitely will not be watching it right when it comes out because I haven't seen any of the other. So I would be completely lost.
Yeah.
But I'm glad people like it. I'm glad people have enjoyed this for, you said upwards of 10 years. So, I just hope it's good and it's a good ending for all of you that have paid attention to it this long.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. Moving on to our last topic of our
Of the
podcast.
evening.
Yes, of the evening is man, these names, dude.
Man.
Is the new Dragon Ball anime movie. But what really stuck out to me is this freaking title. So the title of this new movie is Dragon Ball Superhero. Bro.
Dragon Ball Superhero.
Bro, come on, bro. That's
He's not just
ridiculous.
super. He's super.
Oh man, it's about as ridiculous as Dragon Ball, as like the Saiyans, the Saiyan power ups now, because it's Dragon Ball. It's Super Saiyan,
Super Saiyan
God,
Super
Saiyan.
Oh
It was like
yeah,
Super Saiyan and
God, and then Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Which is
It's like, this is ridiculous, dude. Oh my gosh. But ridiculousness aside, it's still pretty cool that a new movie's coming out. They tease a new animation style.
What do you think about that, by the way? I think that the new animation style looks pretty tight.
As long as it's like close to Broly, in terms of animation style, because like animation in Broly was freaking phenomenal,
bro.
Oh,
I'm saying there was a
get it saying
there was I don't know if you saw it, but they teased a little snippet of the new animation style. It is a side-by-side of the old animation style that they used all throughout Dragon Ball Super and and even some for the first couple of the films for Dragon Ball Super. But they teased a little bit where it looks like Goku's warming up for a fight, and he's just kind of bouncing bouncing back and forth and doing his like pre-fight, readying and warming up or whatever. Like he's trying to get the blood flowing. He and it looks really like fluid and really clean. So I'm super I'm super excited for it.
Oh my gosh, the pun.
And
dude.
plus, like, I told you, like, I really love Dragon Ball. I hate that they can't get a little bit more creative with some of their naming, but can't blame them. You can't be nitpicky about everything. It's Dragon Ball. I really feel like they could fucking release a Dragon Ball movie called Dragon Ball Super, the poopy shit, and we'd all go see it because it's Dragon Ball.
Oh man.
And you know what? I'd be the first one at the theater with my money out because it's a fucking Dragon Ball movie. I love
the jumbo popcorn and the large drink, bro.
It's like a shit emoji thing of popcorn, and it just says Dragon Ball poopy on it.
Man. And I'd be right there with you, bro.
Dog, I'm telling you, I went to see the Broly movie in theaters, and that was like one of the best decisions I've made because, like,
lucky.
I'll tell you right now, I didn't plan on it, but my friend that lives up in Boston was down, and he was like, yo, we gotta go see this movie while I'm here. It's Broly. I love Dragon Ball. Please, let's go. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. I'll go watch some Dragon Ball with you. And I knew nothing about the Super storyline or nothing like that, so I didn't know none of the characters in this. And so I was like, yo, what the hell is going on? I knew, like, obviously Goku and Vegeta and Piccolo and all that, but, like, after that, nothing.
Yeah.
And so, like, That's
Didn't know
kind of
about
what started
Beerus
like
or
the huge binge of like Dragon Ball from start to finish for me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually, honestly, I haven't even finished all of Super. So there's a point like I got all the way up to the Goku Black arc, which is my freaking favorite arc.
Same. So
Uh,
many people hate
uh,
on that arc, but
uh
I love it.
wait, what?
Yes,
Blasphemy!
people
Get
hate
him out of
Goku
here.
Black, and
Are you
I
no?
don't
Get him out.
understand.
Get him out of here. Goku Black is one of the best antagonists since, honestly, like Frieza.
Yeah, yeah.
In my opinion. Yeah, like
Dude was OP.
love Goku Black,
Dude
dude.
was
Love that
OP.
whole entire arc and like the whole like weird thing, you know, where like dude, I can't believe I forgot his name, but what the heck is his name again?
Zamasu.
Yeah, Zamasu. Zamasu, like his character, I love him. The fact that he hates humans. He freaking can't stand them. Like he's jealous in a way. So like the fact that he goes as far as to like steal Goku's body and like just that whole story. Like how could you not like that? Like an evil Goku?
Yeah.
Come on. Oh, okay,
that
yeah,
shit
technically.
was tight.
Yeah, like I love that. How could you? This is the first time I've heard that people didn't like it. So, dude, but his whole design, like, bro, Rose, Super Saiyan Rose,
Super Saiyan Rose
Come on,
was
bro.
fire.
Come on, dude. The pink, come on, bro. That's
Since
honestly
you
one of like
Saiyans
the
like to name your Super Saiyan transition, I called mine Rose. I was like, yo,
come on,
Zamasu
bro.
putting the stank on it. He's making fun of him
Putting
now
the stank,
too,
bro.
Yo,
This dude is on freaking Rick Ross's label,
dude. And like the
Maybach
thing of it
music,
is,
man.
the thing
Rose.
of it is, spoiler alert, by the way. The thing of it is like Goku and Vegeta couldn't beat him. They couldn't.
Oh, word.
Oh, word.
Oh, okay. That's enough. That's enough. I gotta go back and watch. I literally like, I definitely gotta like finish it. But yeah, the animation style going back to the movie, very interesting choice. It almost looks like CGI. So I'm wondering if they kind of like blended it together, but it doesn't look bad.
No,
like you said, like
no.
that part where he's like warming up. I'm like, oh, okay. But then like towards the end, it almost looks like they kind of blended back into like the regular style.
Yeah, it's almost like you know, like whenever and you probably exactly know about this because you're a film guy, but like, you know, like in film, whenever it'll go to like the action camera and then it'll go back to just like a regular in the room scene camera. It's kind of like that to me. Like him getting ready to fight and him bouncing around and all that is kind of the action camera. But then like as it fades back into him calming down and stuff, it like fades back into the other animation style, and I fuck with that.
Yeah,
I fuck with that hard.
Yeah. I definitely want to see. I really want to see how the fights are gonna look in this style.
I am too. I'm ready.
I got a feeling they're gonna be crazy.
I also can't wait to see like what this movie is generally about. I know that we've been talking about a whole bunch of other shit like that doesn't pertain to the content in the movie, but I want to know what's going on. Because there's a lot of stuff that's left open at the end of Super, and you know, since I know you haven't seen it, I won't say anything about that. But like, there's a lot of stuff left open at the end of Super that that they could potentially do, and so you know, I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe we get another big fight between him and Zamasu, or maybe we get a big fight between, you know, him and Whis or something. I don't know. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, they're training with him and Beerus and stuff. So at some point, they're gonna have to be like, "Yo, y'all been training here for a while. Why don't you square up and see how you fare?" And I can't wait to see that fight because, like, Beerus is powerful, but Whis is powerful.
Yeah, Whis is like no freaking joke, dude.
Whis could sneeze on Beerus and it might kill him.
Bro, like, all the characters could sneeze and like blow up the freaking earth.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah,
nowadays.
it's fucking.
You know what I'm saying?
Everyone but
I'm
Krillin.
supposed to be honest. That's what's so crazy. It's like the power levels are so crazy now. It's like they almost, in a way, I feel like they might have to like depower them at some point because they're literally gods. They're in terms of power,
Man,
like they
I
are
want to tell you
like
so much
fighting
about
with
what's
the
going
gods.
on in the manga right now, but that would spoil so much.
I kind of saw something, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't want to, like, on accident. I was like, okay, that's where they're going. Okay.
Yeah.
But all I can say about this new movie is that I am super excited for it. Know what I'm saying?
Shut up.
Oh man, but
I hope
yeah,
this
that-
releases in theaters though.
Same.
I haven't been, too big in the anime community for that long.
mhm.
So I don't know if the other Dragon Ball movies or even any other anime movies have went to theaters. I know that the Demon Hunter one just went into theaters,
Mhm.
but that and the Broly movie is the only two anime movies I've seen in theaters. So
Yeah, I saw Resurrection of F, which was literally hyped. The movie.
really,
That movie was so freaking. Oh, that movie was so awesome, dude. Seeing it in theaters, God, that was awesome. And I wasn't even really that into Dragon Ball at that point, but dude, man, let me tell you, man, like I'd never seen it. Like everything that happened in that movie, like every time a character would do something, people cheered.
yeah,
It was like that high. It was awesome, dude.
It was
It was
hype as
so
fuck.
freaking awesome. Oh man, yeah. What way better than the super adaptation. Like the super adaptation of the Resurrection of Frieza was kind of lame, to be honest. Like it didn't like hit like the movie did.
right.
So, but of course, the movie was like literally, it was like a super concentrated version of it. So of course, like it's gonna look better. Like the moments are gonna be a lot more hyped and stuff. But yeah, no, that movie was awesome in theaters. So I did see that. But yeah, looking forward to this, man. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, me too.
But that will pretty much wrap up our show. We talked a lot about.
EA
There
Play.
were a lot of things we talked about. Can't even talk, dude. But yeah, I thought it was a good show. I think it was a pretty good show, and it was fun. It was definitely a lot of fun, and appreciate you guys for listening in like you always do. And like we said last time, just any type of feedback you guys have, we greatly appreciate it. But for those who are listening in, we love you. And we are going to keep trucking along and pumping out these podcasts because we certainly enjoy doing them, and we hope that you guys do as well.
Yeah, and if you guys have any topics that you want to hear us talking about, anything that we may have missed from before we started the podcast, or even in the weeks that we've been doing them, if there's certain topics that we missed that you think we should have covered, let us know, and we'll try to talk about some of those for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we might be a little late, but I mean, to me, honestly, that's not that big of a deal because there's always some new take that somebody has, even if it might be.
And stories are constantly developing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so just let us know. But in the meantime, that's our show. Alan, do you have anything else to add or you want to say?
No, I just hope everybody stays happy and stay vibing this week.
Yeah, same. I'm your co-host, Daniel.
And I'm your co-host, Alan.
And we will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks again for listening.
Bye-bye!
See ya.